Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Joey Juggermuck is back here with another video for you guys. And in this video, guys, we're here to talk about the game that wrapped up about an hour ago between the Ravens and the Bengals. First off, congrats to the Bengals fans. I know there's a lot of kind of hostility between the Ravens and the Bengals right now. Didn't play your best game, but you got the win. You got the 3 seed. Good luck going forward, and we will see you next week. With the way the seeding works out, we're actually going to be playing the Bengals again next week in the first round of the playoffs. I will share my more personal thoughts on that at the end of the video. But talk about this game. I got to say, guys, it went a lot better than I thought it would. Of course, per usual, blown opportunities cost us this game. But I'm not going to go be too hard about it because, again, we were playing a lot of backups, and I think with Lamar Jackson in, we would have hit on several of those opportunities. But it does start first with the coaching, and I like Harbaugh, but his fourth down decisions are really just starting to drive me crazy. It was, I forget which drive it was, but it was early on in the game. We went forward on a fourth down when we just should not have. We should have taken the points. It would have made it, I think it was 17-0, and it would have made it 17-3. We would have at least gotten points on the board. And then the second half, we really started to turn it around. And when we got that touchdown, it would have been 17-10. We got those stops. If Anthony Brown didn't fumble at the goal line, again, these simple missed opportunities. However, several of these, I do think if Lamar Jackson was in, we would have gotten them. So I'm trying not to complain too much. And then, of course, I can't assume that Lamar Jackson's going to play next week. We heard from Adam Schefter yesterday that he's going to make a strong push to play, which is a good sign because that means that he's motivated and he wants to play. That's priority one. We will see if his knee allows him to, though. I'm still not banking on it. Anthony Brown, meanwhile, he was pretty bad. I mean, I'm not gonna say he was horrible, but those 2 interceptions, man, especially the first one, were just bad. Actually, the second one wasn't really his fault. That was just Demarcus Robinson being stupid. But that first interception, I don't know where he was throwing that ball. He had 2 guys open. He had Likely open. I think it was Likely. And then Oliver, I think, was going down the field as well. He just threw it right to Jesse Bates. It's like Jesse Bates ran the route for him. It was just an atrocious throw. And then, of course, he had that other interception, but I think that was more on Demarcus Robinson. Other than that, he played okay. I mean, his completion percentage sucked, but I thought some of his throws were pretty good, and he did have some nice plays, but that fumble at the goal line, man, killed us. I mean, it starts with Ronnie Stanley because he kind of got destroyed by Hendrickson, but you gotta take care of the football. You gotta have awareness of who's coming behind you. So I blame that on both of them. But for a backup, and we needed a change of scenery. So, of course, that was a big storyline today. Tyler Huntley did not play. It was expected to start, but we actually held him out with the wrist and shoulder injury, and Anthony Brown got the start. So, I think part of it is also, what this tells me anyway, is if Lamar Jackson cannot go next week, Huntley is definitely going to be the next man up, so that's why we held him out to be sure. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I still would be up for giving Anthony Brown a chance. At the same time, though, Anthony Brown played this week, so if Huntley or Jackson played, that could screw up the Bengals' game plan because they lost the game plan for a different quarterback. So, regardless, hopefully our QB1 is back. But if not, I think you could argue both quarterbacks on who should get the nod. But it was okay. Obviously, some bad plays, but for a backup playing in his first real game, I know he played a bit against Pittsburgh in the first meeting, but for him to play his first full game, I can't complain too much, and I'm glad it wasn't the most stressful game either. Okay, so that's cool. And then another storyline heading into this game that I really wasn't aware of, we played it really conservatively. I was pretty surprised, but we were really conservative. What I mean by that is we rested a lot of guys. Calais Campbell played. Now, he didn't play many snaps. We tried to get him his 100th sack, which he should have had. Okay, I'll say my complete just meltdown for a minute. But anyways, Campbell played, but he didn't play too much. Peters was held out. J.K. Dobbins was held out. Kevin Zeitler was held out. Of course, no Lamar Jackson. Tyler Huntley was held out. Mark Andrews was held out. So as I said, we played it really conservatively today. We did hold out quite a few guys. Oh, and Stevens didn't play either. He was dealing with an illness, I think, but I think he could have played. We just decided to hold him out, which was fine. For that reason, and I'll start with some more positives. I'm actually really impressed with how we played defensively, honestly. I kind of thought with our secondary not at full strength, well, at least with Peters and Stevens not playing, I kind of thought we were going to get destroyed. We actually didn't. And this is kind of funny because it's like the complete opposite of what you'd expect. Because if you looked at the scores for the past 2 games against the Steelers and the Bengals without context, you'd think, the Steelers, the defense played really well, but against the Bengals, they sucked. It's actually the other way around. Okay, I'm not gonna say we sucked last week against Pittsburgh, but I think our performance was very misleading. I don't think we played very well at all. We got punched in the mouth on the ground. Harris destroyed us, and again, we sold in the end. Meanwhile, this week, it's they scored 27 points, but I actually think our defense played pretty well. Again, context is important, but the Bengals got 1 defensive touchdown, so the Bengals only scored 20 offensive points, and also a lot of those points, and pretty much all of them, in fact, were off of turnovers, and we gave them amazing field position, so the defense got shorthanded. So I thought the defense actually played pretty well today. Again, I was really, really impressed. The Bengals didn't run the ball much, but when they did, we kept them in check. Mixon and Pirine both did not do much, and Chase had that 1 touchdown catch against Worley, but then he too didn't do too much. I was really impressed with how we played defensively today. The only thing is, I'm really hoping that we're not, trading this in. So I'm glad we played well today, but we better not just completely disappear next week because we're playing these same guys again. That's the thing. So then there's the question of how much were both teams hiding in this game? Because going into today, it was looking likely that we were going to play Cincinnati. We didn't know for sure yet, but that was most likely going to happen. Now it's official, but you do want to go in this game, how much consideration was there? And really, I don't know. I think both teams, I'm sure, had it in the back of their mind, but how much were the Bengals hiding offensively? How much were the Ravens hiding? I really don't know. I guess we'll find out next week. But one approach that I think means that, the Ravens knew that, we had to save it a little bit for the next week is the fact that we held out some guys who were healthy, but Dobbins, Andrews both could have played, but they just didn't because, for injury reasons, we want to keep them healthy for the playoffs, which is fine, but I'm fine because they won't be rusty. It's only 1 week off. That's fine. It's Lamar Jackson who I'm really worried about because even if he does come back, which would be great, the rust is obviously gonna be a concern. I still would argue that a rusty Lamar Jackson is better than Tyler Huntley or Anthony Brown, but is it gonna be good enough? We can't win in the playoffs with poor quarterback play. We're gonna have to have really good quarterback play. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope he plays, but at the same time, the rust is definitely going to be a concern, at least for me anyway. So again, defensively, I'm pretty happy. Except, and I said I would save my rampage for a couple minutes, but now we're on it. I swear, it's like a circus how much we miss on sacks. Oh my God, dude. I was livid. If it was a playoff game and it really mattered, I probably would have broken my sheet. Okay, I wouldn't have gone that far, but man, was it frustrating. We whiffed on so many sacks. The most pathetic thing was on one play. I think it was early in the game too. Maybe the first drive, if not the second. Literally all 4 of our pass rushers whiffed on the sack. Campbell, Houston, Owe, I think, whoever else was in there. All 4 of them whiffed. They all had a chance, and they all whiffed. We should have had 4 sacks on that play. I know that's not possible, but you get the point. If we spread that around, we would have had 4 more sacks. Every single guy missed. On the first or second play of the game, we had a whiff sack. God, we got to get the quarterback on the ground. Fortunately, I don't remember us really paying the price for missing those sacks. I don't think he ever got a huge gain. But okay, let's assume that he just threw a check down and got a few yards out of that. 2nd and 18, roughly, versus 2nd and 7. That's a big, big difference, man. We gotta get these sacks to get them behind the sticks. They make such a big difference. So I guess on the plus side, I thought the pass rush was a lot better today. We were getting after Burrow. We got a lot of pressure on him, even with just 4 guys. We didn't really blitz that much, which was great. But it's that's only one piece of the puzzle. We got to get him on the ground, man. And these whiff sacks have got to go because they are a big problem. And this is not going to work in the playoffs, man. If we keep whiffing on these sacks, we're going to pay the price for it. And Burrow is pretty elusive, but, he's not the most elusive. And, if we ever get to face Allen or Mahomes in the playoffs, they're going to make us pay. We got to get the quarterbacks on the ground. But shout out to David Ojabo, man, with some guys resting and some of our veteran pass rushers not playing as much. Houston was in there, but he didn't play too much. Ojabo played today, and he actually got a fair amount of snaps. I don't know how many, but he got more than 1 snap. And he got his first sack of the season. Not only that, it was a strip sack on Burrow, inside his 15-yard line that gave us the ball, and we ended up stalling for a field goal. But still, shout out to David Ojabo, man. That was awesome, and I really hope that he's able to build off of that, and hopefully he can come in next week and do the same thing. So And then when it comes to getting out of the game healthy, so my big concern early on, because Gus Edwards went down with a head injury, he was heading in a concussion protocol, he did not return to the game. I don't know if he has a concussion or not, we'll find out. Thankfully, it's nothing like leg related, so if he clears the protocol, he'll be back next week, but will he is another question. I have hope that he will. I mean, Tyler Huntley went in the concussion protocol against the Steelers. He was back the next week. Granted, he did kind of play like crap, but I'll still hope that he'll be back. And then Roquan Smith also went down, which I was really worried about. He's fine. I think he just kind of got, he kind of like ran into Marcus Williams. He came back into the game too, so he should be fine. Not worried about that. And besides that, I think we got out of the game healthy as far as I know. So that's another good sign. So we should be as close to full strength as possible going into the playoffs. We have our guys who rested this week. They'll be back next week. So it's just the biggest question on if our quarterback is going to be back. I think everyone else should be back. And again, we should be somewhat close to full strength. Peters will absolutely be back because he returned to practice this week. He should play. We just held him out for safety reasons. But yeah, will Lamar Jackson be able to play it? That's the million-dollar question. So before we wrap up this video, I know you guys are maybe wondering, like, what are my thoughts on playing the Bengals back-to-back weeks? I don't like it. I got to tell you guys, I do not like it. Despite us actually doing a lot better today than I thought we would, and I really think we could have won this game if we put the pedal to the metal, I still don't like us playing them back-to-back weeks, man. I really don't. It's hard to beat a team back-to-back. And I guess, to be fair, we didn't beat them today. And you could argue, the Bengals, so they're in jeopardy because it's hard to beat us back-to-back weeks, which is true. But how much were the Bengals hiding? Where's our quarterback situation going to be at? And I don't like the feeling of playing this explosive offense twice. We actually, both times this year when we've played them, we've really done okay at limiting them. I gotta give us credit. And we do it a third time that would really limit them next week. I gotta say I'm really, really skeptical because I'm sure the Bengals are gonna make some adjustments, and can we adjust to their adjustments? It's kind of it goes hand in hand, and it kind of goes both ways, I guess you could say. But I am very concerned about us going next week. I don't like the matchup. I would have much rather played Jacksonville, Tennessee. I guess not Tennessee because they're out. The Chargers, someone who we maybe haven't played yet or have only played once, like the Jaguars. I don't like the matchup against Cincinnati. I gotta be honest. But you can't get everything you want, and at the same time, regardless of who we play, we still need to win in the playoffs if we want to prove we're a good team. So despite it being the Bengals, it doesn't matter. We still got to prove that we can beat them. We split the series, of course, so we'll see what happens next week. That's all I can say for now. So, guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I am out. Have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. Go Ravens, man. We're in the playoffs. Let's see what happens next week. Playing the same opponent we played today. And I will see you guys next weekend, either Friday or Saturday, for playoff game picks.